Welcome to the second episode of the Viral Vlogger series, where in this 5-part series, you're going to be learning how to create captivating vlogs as a lifestyle creator, as a fitness creator, a baker, a mom, anything and everything. If you missed last week's episode, be sure that after you finish this video, you go ahead and you go back to that one, because we talked about gear, everything that you need as a vlogger, everything that you don't need but is an option to improve the quality of videos, and I put you on the best products to use when you're a smaller creator. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about filming, how to get the best shots, how to keep things interesting, and keeping your viewer as engaged as possible throughout your entire video. If you haven't already, be sure you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any other episode of this series, where you're going to be learning about gear, equipment, storytelling, filming, editing, and everything you need to know to make your vlog aesthetic, interesting, captivating, and will keep your viewers on your video as long as possible. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. We're first going to dive into the deep, juicy part of this video, and that's going to be storytelling. Okay, I don't even know if that's the deepest and the juiciest part of this video, but storytelling is going to be so important when it comes to vlogging, because, you know, based off of my research and observations and working with other lifestyle content creators who focus on vlogging, it's not always people's wants. People don't typically want to watch you kind of live your life unless you're living a lifestyle that they want to live. Now, when it comes to vlogs, it's really important to incorporate storytelling, because that is what's going to keep people on your video the longest. Now, how do you storytell through your videos? Now, we're going to break this up and make it as simplified as possible, because even I had struggled with storytelling, but for some reason, I'm really good at storytelling, even though I don't know that I'm good at storytelling. I don't know. Maybe because I think things too deeply and I like to break things up to where I understand what I'm doing. But in general, I'm very good at storytelling. So we're going to go ahead and dive into that right now. So we're breaking this up into 3 different parts: the beginning, the middle, and the end. So this is the simplified version of storytelling, because there's different ways to storytell, but this is going to be at least the basis or the foundation that I would like for you to go off of. Now, the beginning, there's a few questions that I want you to ask yourself. When you are at the beginning of your vlog or your story per se, you are painting the picture for your audience. This is how movies start. This is how shows start. They don't dive straight into the meats and potatoes of the video. They paint the picture for you first. They build up to that point that you want to get to, which is the climax, which we'll get into. So the first question you're going to ask yourself is who is involved in this story? So how can you show that through vlogs? If it's just you, you're going to show yourself. If it's other people, you're going to show the other people. But who is the main person that we want to talk about? Who's the main person that's going to be starred in this video? You want to paint the picture for them, for your audience. So who are we highlighting? Who's important for this video? What? So is there anything that we need to highlight in this video that is important? So what is the video about? What adventure are we going on? What's the journey? What's the objective? Or what are we going to be expecting out of this video? So not only did you define who you are, you're also going to determine what the video is about. So if you are a lifestyle vlogger, you basically are going to be talking about yourself, most likely. So you are the who. So what is the what? So maybe if you're a lifestyle vlogger who specializes in mom content, then the what of the video could be a grocery, something about groceries and finding healthy meals for your children. So that could be the what. So the purpose of this video is my grocery store haul, or my trip to the grocery store, or healthy meals that I make for my children. So that's the what. When is another question that you're gonna ask yourself. So when? So maybe during this time, it's going to be December, January-ish, and it's flu season. So we're kind of painting the picture here. When is this happening? This is happening during flu season. So the what is making healthy meals for my children that are, cold flu season friendly. So soups, warm, hot meals, things that will boost your immune system. So that could be the what based off of the when. And then where is this taking place? So it could probably just be your home. Keep it simple. It's going to be in your home, or it's going to be at the store. You can also define that in your title, like my trip to Costco to get groceries for, making homemade cold flu season friendly meals. That's probably not gonna be your title, but like hopefully I painted the picture for you already. So the who is you. The what is going to be healthy home cooked meals for my children. When is between December to January, and then where is going to be at home, and then probably the grocery store as well. So that is the beginning. You're painting the picture. You can even just tell it. You can even just like elaborate on it. What is the word? Auditorily? Verbally. You can let your viewers know verbally that this is what the video is about, the who, the what, the when, the where. And then the middle. So the middle, this is where someone is taken on an experience. Now this is the climb to the resolution. Now what's the resolution? The resolution is going to be included in the end, but this is basically the climb. We are building up. We are going on a journey. You are showing or taking your viewer on an experience. You can include plot twists. You can include emotional rides. You're basically just taking your audience on a journey, and things happen in order, step by step. You don't want things to go out of order. So everything should be sequential, so it makes sense. But also what I highly recommend to do is add in those plot twists. So when you are creating your vlog and people know that you're going to be going to the store and then you're going to be, cooking a meal for your children that's cold flu season friendly, add some plot twists in there. Like maybe a new character is being unlocked, or new character of your story is being unlocked. Like maybe your husband walks in and then maybe he does something sweet for you. That's a plot twist. Like maybe he just walks in and like gives you a kiss on your hand. It's just like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Like that's a mini plot twist, because people didn't expect that to happen. I mean, it's not like out of the ordinary. It could have happened, but it could have, people don't expect that that's going to happen. Other things can happen, like maybe you're filming your children, they're having fun, and then like something happens, like maybe a joke, they burst out in tears of laughter because someone made a joke and it was just like so funny. That's a mini plot twist, because it's just like you don't expect that, or that wasn't like part of the video, that wasn't part of the plan. So those mini plot twists keep things interesting. Another thing that you can implement or keep in mind is the but therefore method. So there is a way that you shouldn't be telling stories, and that's going to be a linear story, where it's just like, I woke up and then I brushed my teeth and then I made my bed and then I made breakfast and then I started work. So that's linear. That is expected. That is something that people can predict, easily predictable. But if you add in those mini plot twists by using the but therefore method, then it makes the story more interesting. So I woke up and I brushed my teeth, but I ran out of toothpaste. Therefore, I had to run to the store real quick in my pajamas. My hair wasn't even done. And then I bought toothpaste. And then I went home and I was going to make breakfast, but I had no eggs. Therefore, I had to go back to the store, hair still messy, pajamas still worn down, and I looked messy, and I had to buy eggs for breakfast. And then I went home. So you see, there was like mini plot twists that you didn't expect to happen, but because those plot twists happened in the story, it made it more interesting. Instead of being able to predict what's going to happen next and just like knowing exactly what the storyline is. So that's what I mean by having mini plot twists and also taking your viewers on a journey. So yes, you can make content about going to the store and making cold flu season friendly meals that are healthy for your children, but what's going to happen in your vlog that's going to make it more interesting? Maybe as you're walking out, don't force yourself to do this stuff. Don't force yourself to have experiences that aren't supposed to look unplanned, but maybe you go outside and you watch your car, but then you trip, and typically people would keep their videos polished and cut it out, but that could be an interesting part of your video. You could keep it in your video and then continue on, and maybe you pop up back in the camera, you're like, okay, I'm good, let me go to the car, and then people will comment on that. You'll get engagement. People are like, oh my goodness, are you okay? Did that fall sounded like it hurt? Girl, are you okay? So when you keep things in like that in your video, I feel like it makes it more interesting. Plus it brings out the realistic side of you. It just shows that you're human. It shows that things happen and your life isn't as polished as it comes out to be online as everyone else is. So keep that stuff in your videos and just allow yourself to have those hiccups in your videos, because that is what humanizes you, and also that's what helps keep people a part of your journey. Now, the end part of your story is, what are you leaving your audience with? What is the takeaway? What is the lesson? What did they learn from this video? Now, it doesn't have to be like an epiphany. It doesn't have to be like you're solving world hunger, but what is the takeaway? So maybe the purpose of this video that we're talking about here in my example is, now I learned how to make healthy cold flu season friendly meals for my children. That's it. That's the takeaway. Or maybe the lesson learned here is, maybe in your video, you're like, you learned about an ingredient that's not the best or something like that. I don't know. There's a lesson to be learned. There's a takeaway in every video. There should be a takeaway. There should be a lesson in every video, because that is what makes things more interesting for people watching vlogs, because I feel like vlogs are a little harder to build up, but when you incorporate storytelling into it, it makes it far more interesting, far more relatable, and it's as if you're watching a show kind of happen in front of you, maybe like a reality show or something like that, but more of like a more personable, because reality shows, like, everyone knows it's all made up, but with vlogs, it's like real life. It's real life, but you're just capturing beautiful shots and you're putting it together, you're creating a story, and it makes people that much more interested. So hopefully this all makes sense by having a beginning, middle, and end. And let me just summarize. For the beginning, you want to paint the picture, you want to define who this video is about, or who's hosting the video, what the video is about, when is it taking place, where is it taking place. I don't know if you can see that with my hand. I'm like trying to do 4, but then like my pinky I keep going like 1, 2, 3, and then like my pinky goes up, so it's like 5, but don't mind that, it's 4. And then the middle is the experience, the journey, which includes the mini plot twists and using the but therefore method. And then the ending is basically a summary, a takeaway, a lesson learned from your video. Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about are vlogging styles, because vlogging has been around for so long, but there's different ways that you can vlog. And I'm going to talk about basically three different vlogging styles that you can incorporate into your content. So the style number 1 we're going to talk about is acting as if the person is in the room with you. Now, this is basically just like, feels like FaceTime. It feels like, not even FaceTime. It feels like when your viewer is watching your videos and you're going at it at an angle of just like you're in the room with them, they're going to feel like they're in the room with you. And so how you can do this is by placing your camera and then talking to the camera as if you're talking to your friend. So act as if your camera is your friend. You want to make your viewer feel like they're in the room with you, or they're going on the experience with you, that they're your passenger princess, or they're your or like they're your helper in the kitchen, or they're just, they're helping you with your sets and stuff like that. And so when you're creating content like this, you're just talking to them like you're their friend, and you're telling them random stuff. Like sometimes it doesn't, to me, the random talk is also a little bit of plot twists. Like if you go to the gym, or like if you're watching a fitness influencer, it's pretty predictable that they're going to tell you about their sets. They're going to tell you like maybe some tips. But when it comes to vlogging, kind of just like random chatter, random yapping during like your sets is like the mini plot twists. You don't expect that to happen, but now it just feels like we're friends hanging out in the room. And so when it comes to this kind of content, it's gonna look like basically the camera is the point of view of your friend. And so when you're recording, you can hold your phone up as if, or your camera, like hold it like you're on a FaceTime call. You can hold it like that. You can set it down and just like talk to your camera as if they're your friend. And it's just like, I don't know, to me, it's just like you are in the experience with them. And I feel like that's what's nice about this style of vlogging. Now, style number 2 is going to be visually telling a story. And a creator that's really good at this is Life of Riza. And she really inspires me when it comes to vlogging. But pretty much her vlog styles are cinematic. And when you're telling a story, you can also visually tell it as well. And so what she does is she basically narrates throughout a lot of her video. And then she has B-roll that basically shows what's happening as she's speaking. And this is a beautiful way to vlog, because it's just everything is so visual. Everything is very visual focused, and that's what I like about it. It's just like it feels like I'm watching a movie, but it's a vlog. It's her real life. And with this kind of style of content, or this style of vlogging, it does require a little bit more thought energy. It does require you to pre-plan. It does require a lot more editing, as opposed to doing like they're in the room with you style. With that style, you're kind of just like recording as you go, and then you put it together, and it just like, everything just happens in sequential order as you filmed. But when it comes to visually telling a story through your B-roll, then this requires like a lot of like shooting, a lot of outside shooting from just you holding the camera and just sitting it down and talking to the camera. This requires you not only to just talk to the camera, or you don't even have to talk to the camera, but this requires for you to like plan out shots, to get different angles and just to get creative and then like tell a story visually. And so that's a style of content that I personally enjoy because I just feel like you can definitely touch an emotional point with, or, you know, reach your audience in an emotional level when it comes to this kind of content. So that's style number 2. Now, style number 3 is a hybrid of both. And I like doing this because you can have fun with it. You can have fun with any of these styles, but I have so much fun with this style. So what this means is that basically like I'll take you on a journey with me, and then like I'll talk to you as if we're on FaceTime. But then when I'm doing like regular, you know, tasks, or like let's say I'm like at the store and I'm walking around, like I'll have segments. So like the first segment is like, oh, welcome to my vlog, we're gonna go to the store and we're gonna buy something. And then as we're going to the store, it's just like a sequence of videos of me going to the store. And then the next time you're gonna hear me talk, it's going to be a time where like I set the camera down, it looks like we're FaceTiming. And then the next segment is gonna be like me like maybe purchasing stuff. And then the next segment is we sit in the car and then I talk to you as if we're on FaceTime. And then the next segment is just like me, like so basically like there's action of B-roll and then a talk, or like a talking segment, and then action, B-roll, talking, action, B-roll, talking. And I like this a lot because I don't have to focus on talking as I'm recording. Like I like having both. I don't know. There's something about it. And when I put the B-roll together, I like to put music over it, and it just makes it seem fun. Like, oh, we're going on an adventure, and then we're going to stop and talk about the adventure or talk about something. And it's just like, feels like a FaceTime call. So that's style number 3, basically a hybrid of style number 1, where it feels like they're in the room with you or they're FaceTiming you. And then style number 2, where you're visually telling a story. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about creative angles, and I'm going to be showing you examples of this, but creative angles, you know, people I feel like get stumped on a lot. People are so used to like this kind of frame and like recording this frame multiple times at different angles in their videos. And I just feel like people don't really know what to do when it comes to getting creative angles. So I'm going to tell you about 3 different creative angles. Don't mind me, I'm reading my script. Let's normalize reading our scripts or outlines, guys. But 3 different types. So there's the point of view shots. Now the point of view shots is going to be basically your friend's perspective or a FaceTime perspective. And this is exactly what I was talking about in style number 1 of vlogging, but pretty much your camera is going to be the point of view of someone or something. So this is a point of view shot. So it could be a point of view, like maybe we're sitting across from each other and you're literally just like my friend and we're just chatting. And put my mic down so you don't see it, so it looks like we're actually chatting, but this could be a point of view of like a conversation. Or I could be holding the camera and it looks like we're on FaceTime, or at least we're creating the feeling as if you're on FaceTime with me. It could be maybe putting the camera in your passenger seat. Looks like, you know, you're talking to your friend and you're in the car with them. Or you can put the camera like on your dashboard so it looks like we're FaceTiming while I'm driving. So basically that is going to be the kind of shots that you can get when it comes to vlogging, are point of view shots. Peaking shots, this is more for B-roll, but it makes the vlogs a lot more like aesthetically pleasing. But peaking shots, I love so much because it creates dimension, it creates a cinematic feel, and it just adds in like a je ne sais quoi. I don't even know what that means, by the way. If anybody knows what that means, please let me know in the comments below. But it adds like a je ne sais quoi to the videos. And so what that looks like is like you're peeking through an object, you're peeking through bushes, you're peeking through or behind like a monitor, you're peeking behind a door, you're peeking over someone's shoulder. And so the peeking aspect of it has a really nice look to it because of the dimension. So one thing's going to be blurry, the other thing's going to be in focus. And typically whatever you're peeking through or over is going to be the object that's blurred out, and then the whatever the focus is going to be in crisp view. So I love peeking shots. I feel like it adds such a touch to the visual of it, but that's going to be a creative angle that you can get. Now another one's going to be B-roll shots, or I'm calling them B-roll shots, but these are like your typical style B-roll shots. So that's going to include worm's eye view, where the camera's point of view is going to be coming from down going up. You have your bird's eye view when your camera is positioned at the top looking down. You have a close-up, which is typically used for getting really close details or getting details of objects or something that's happening. You have medium shots where it's like kind of like this, like talking head videos, or you're trying to get something happening from the waist up. It's kind of like, you know, someone's having a conversation and you want to maybe highlight something that they're doing, not necessarily get a close up with the details, but you want to see action happening. So typically that would be in a medium shot. And then you have long shots, and long shots are typically used to show an establishment, to show where you are, to show location, or to show something at large on screen. So these are the kind of B-roll shots that you can get when it comes to vlogging. And if you're trying to visually tell a story or paint the picture, this would be a great way to do that, is by getting those B-roll shots. Now, if you are really dedicated, or if you really want to take becoming a YouTuber super seriously in the year 2025, then I highly recommend to download my free YouTube growth guide, which is going to be linked down in the description below. Again, it's completely free. So basically it's going to tell you like how your work week is going to look every single week as a creator, so you can have a schedule and you can stay consistent with it, and then also gives you recommendations to gear that I highly recommend to use as a creator or even a vlogger. But without further ado, if you missed last week's video, I definitely highly recommend to go check it out as it pops up on the screen. But last week's video of our 5-part series of being a viral vlogger is about gear, equipment, and everything that you need to get started or to start growing as a small creator who vlogs. So definitely click on the video on the screen and I'll meet you there. Bye.